Alright, boys and girls, I'm going to take a minute to answer some of y'all's questions. I've got kind of a bunch of questions here regarding the target build that I did for just practicing with the airsoft, practicing with the draw, and so on and so forth. I'll attach a video at the end of this and just show you what I did. Basically, it's an IDPA target, except I cut out the bullcrap A and B and C zone and all that stuff, and basically put in spinal cord, chest cavity, and then the brain box for my target. So I'll show you a picture of that. Alright, Tom Olafson, you had a question regarding airsoft and the price. I think I had already kind of responded to you there and gave you a couple different things. Regarding being at different levels of training and so on and so forth, understand, I'm sure, if you've been around the gun culture for any length of time, you've probably already heard this, that advancement is nothing but mastery of the basics. Yeah, I would agree with that. Knowing the basics, having the ability down, but again, as I've said in numerous videos, it's not just intellectually knowing these things, it's being able to do these things on a subconscious level, even under stress, while your brain is performing other tasks. That's the key issue. So that is the reason for, even though you know how to clear a malfunction, you can execute a rip drill, you can execute reloads and things like this, can you do those things under stress, both under physical stress and under what I call oppositional stress, where I've got somebody who's actually going to town on me? Can I do those tasks? So that's a critical element. Keep doing those things. Move those things into subconscious thought so that you free your conscious thought up for making decisions in the moment. Dillinger, retired LE. Okay, yeah, you just like the videos. And oh, I see. And the airsoft, you enjoyed doing that for training. So again, just like any training platform, I've had a bunch of people kind of question on the airsoft as far as training. Understand what is an airsoft. Airsoft is nothing but a simulated firearm that fires a non-lethal projectile. In that sense, by that definition, it is no different than paintball. It is no different than Miles gear. It is no different than simunitions or UTMs or anything like that. All of them are just different training platforms that are susceptible to the same problems. I've seen simunition training degrade into a game of paintball, where you have guys who are not really taking the training seriously. They get out there and they're shooting sims and they're just running around doing completely unrealistic crap. By the same token, I've seen airsoft used in a manner that is highly productive. That's not to say that one is better than the other. I would use simunitions where marking a target was crucial for the training evolution. Simunitions are excellent for that, but airsoft does not. They do not produce a reliable airsoft type pellet system that will actually mark a target. So you're somewhat dependent on being honest and having both sides of the training team there utilize the platform properly. So, road trip. When am I going to learn how to punch? Daniel LaRusso. When you learn to paint the fence. Check out the newest video. I went into a little bit how to implement some of the stuff that we've been doing in the last couple video series, and how to actually implement cutting an angle, how to implement range, and so on and so forth, and how to utilize your punches accordingly. So, let's see. All the videos make sense. I think this is Mark. All the videos make sense, but not having been in the military, they're not second nature. I get that. I understand that. And to be honest with you, that's actually part of the purpose of being able to break some of these basic concepts down, these basic areas of strategy, break them down into an area of small unit tactics, because those guys who are coming from a military or even a law enforcement background are going to be able to relate to that. But some of you guys who maybe don't have that type of exposure, at very least, you're going to gain some understanding on both how to implement strategy in a close combat scenario, but also you're going to gain some understanding on small unit tactics. So sort of a win-win there for some of you. I think I answered some of these other questions regarding what types of gas system we use for the airsoft. Wanted to kind of explain that. One of the reasons why we went airsoft is because my primary niche is in the field of combatives. Combatives requires me to actually be within contact distance of somebody where I'm actually putting hands on them. Sims can be used in this manner, but it requires a great deal of protective gear because of the mass of the round. Remember that the energy that a round hits with is mass times velocity squared. So that mass plays a crucial role in the amount of energy and the amount of force that it actually contacts the individual with. So if I'm shooting at muzzle distance with a sim, even though the velocity might be lesser, slightly lesser, or roughly in the same area of that of an airsoft, because the projectile itself weighs a great deal more, it's going to hit with more energy, therefore it's going to do more damage. I've seen, we did a training evolution one time where I saw a sim actually penetrate someone's neck. It was fired out of an M4 platform, and I mean, it was 15-20 yards. Just hit the guy in a place where he did not have protective gear, and went in pretty deep. Did quite a bit of damage. So you can see that even from 15-20 yards, if I were to utilize the sim platform in the area of combatives where I'm at actual muzzle distance, muzzle contact distance, you're seriously going to mess somebody up. So in that sense, airsoft actually works a little better. Now, that being said, somebody else had asked about the pain that's involved with airsoft. Understand that pain is a necessary component of any force-on-force scenario. Now, I know people don't want to walk out of there getting hurt, and that's not, we don't want lasting injuries, but I also don't want people free from the fear of pain when they go into this training evolution, because that fear of pain is simulating that same degree, not to the same level, but it's simulating a degree of stress that would be present in a real life scenario. So pain is a necessary component of dealing with stress and stress inoculation. You need to be able to function and be able to go through things like clearing your garment and drawing and stuff like this while still enduring a certain degree of pain. This is not, combatives is not an area of training like, old school karate or something like that, where guys are getting hit and they're so ridiculously padded up. They got the sumo padded suits on and stuff, and everybody just walks out of there doing completely unrealistic things because nobody's afraid to get hit. I want that degree of stress. I want that fear of pain, up to, but just shy of, any kind of lasting injury. So understand that that is a component, and it's a necessary component. There needs to be a certain amount of pain. We just don't want injury is what we're looking for. So for combatives elements, the airsoft seems to work better. For instances where I need to actually physically mark a target, simunitions are going to be the way to go. So anyway, you guys let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll try and get them addressed. Alright, this is the target build. Just real simple. Took some of the leftover scrap. This is just a 1/2 inch piece of plywood. It's got a 6x6 chest cavity and a 2 inch by 4 inch brain box there with the spinal cord through there. I'm not a real big fan of the IDPA, A zone, B zone, C zone, all that stuff, so I'm trying to focus all my shots into those areas there. So it's just got two 2x4s that are, I think they're roughly 4.5 feet long. The whole target sits up 6 feet, so it's average man height, and then I've just got a piece down here. Essentially these flags are nothing but foundation flags. You'll see there's a screw on the back there, and this has just got a thin sheet metal plate. It used to be straight, but it curves after time. You have to take it off and beat the crap out of it to get it flat again. So essentially what happens is these foundation flags are tied into that screw, and they connect to this screw here, which has had the head cut off of it. And what happens is when the metal is hit, or when the wood is hit, nothing happens. But when the metal's hit, the flag goes down. Sometimes it takes one time, or actually it's hung up right now. Sometimes it takes 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, but it gives me a random way of counting my hits, so that way I can go ahead and keep firing in the event that it doesn't go down on the first time. So anyway, that's the target system. I think I got 3 of these out of a 4x8 sheet of plywood. So it's all in how you lay it out.